Testing, testing. One, two, three. Is this thing on? What's up, y'all? It's Jay here, your accountability coach and ghetto psychologist. And it is my life's purpose to help Black people navigate this patriarchal system of white supremacy. Welcome to Lovely Thoughts. On this channel, you get the thoughts of me, Jay Lovely. And I talk about everything. I talk about everything you can think about in the world. If I want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share it with y'all, right? So I got a lot to say. I always have to do this little pause before I say I have a lot to say. Yo, I want to talk about this 21 Savage Big Bank Perspectives interview. If you don't know, I'm a Atlanta native, born and raised. Atlanta. I'm sorry, my little A might be ashy. It's my first tattoo. It's a little faded. I need to get it done over. But anywho, born and raised, Atlanta native, okay, from the South Side to be exact. And I really love being from Atlanta. Like, I feel like there is no other place like my city, even though I'm definitely going to live my life in different places eventually. Uh, but I know that this is always going to be home to me. This is the Black Mecca. Like, it don't get no blacker than Atlanta. I don't care what anybody says. Like, we have had a Black mayor since the 70s. We ain't had a white mayor since the 70s. Do you know how big that is? Do you understand how big and Black and beautiful Atlanta is? Okay. It's nothing like it. And Atlanta, despite how people is probably gonna try to disagree and discredit, or people will understand and not disagree. Atlanta is a huge driving force when it comes to Black culture in America. Huge driving force. Huge from the lingo, from the dancing, from the music. Okay? Huge. Huge. Okay? And I'm just gonna leave it at that, right? So I want to talk about this interview because we got, and I'm gonna be cold switching in and out. I want y'all to understand, okay? You're gonna hear the South Side come out of me at one point, and then you're gonna hear me go back to this somewhat professional voice. But this big bank, matter of fact, let me go ahead and share so y'all can see. Wait a god darn minute. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think y'all should be able to see that. But yeah, so in this interview, 21 talks about a lot of stuff. And I want to talk about this because, again, it's my life's purpose to help Black people navigate this patriarchal system of white supremacy. Again, I am also from Atlanta, so I'm going to talk about Atlanta shit. Like, I'm going to talk about stuff that being from Atlanta is like a culture that you know, it's like Black culture, of course, but it's different when you can hear somebody's voice who sound like you, right? Because you know when they talk about they hood, when these niggas talking about Zone 6, East Lake, and all the stuff they name, Boulder Crest, all I know these places. I've been these places. I stepped my foot on soil in these places, right? Being from Atlanta. I have spent time on in each zone, on each side, from north, west, east, south, SWATs, whatever. Okay. And even further. Right. So I want to talk about what these niggas is talking about. We got two Atlanta niggas, two Atlanta legends, I guess, if you will. And even though people want to say that 21 Savage he's from the UK, he was born in the UK, okay? He spent 7 years of his life in the UK and the rest of them in Atlanta. This nigga's what, 30 something? I don't know. He's definitely old enough that you can say he spent most of his, if you nigga, what do y'all remember being 7? What do you remember most about being 7? I barely remember being 7, okay? Even though I have some memories uh beyond 7. You know, I can remember as early as being a baby, but I don't remember being 7 per se. So we can't say that he ain't from here, Atlanta, when he been here most of his life. I think a significant portion. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But I want to talk about this. The first things I want to talk about. Hold on, let me get my list out. So I want to talk about this because this is important. They get somewhat deep when talking about destiny, right? Because Bank asked him a real question about survivor's remorse. And I talk about survivor's remorse in my book. Well, show you my book, shameless pub. And if you're watching so far, go ahead and hit subscribe, please. Go ahead and hit subscribe, like this video, share if you cool, if you real cool, and who support Black authors and Black people in general. So, but the main thing I want to talk about with this, like I said, is he talked about survivor's remorse, and they don't particularly use the term destiny, but they get into kind of talking about destiny. So this is a excuse me, it's gonna be a few minutes, this clip. Oh shit, let me make sure the sound is cause girl, I done shirt, and I don't even know if the sound done shirt. So let me stop share. Ugh, I'm feeling real antsy right now. Okay, share sound. There we go. Y'all should be able to hear now.
It's higher than me type shit. Do you like, it's like damn near 10 niggas we probably can name you don't lost since you been here, right?
Right.
If not more, that's like close niggas.
Right.
Do that make you feel as if though like survivor's remorse or feel like you just chosen like shit, it's for me?
No, I don't really think that deep about that shit. I just believe in like cause and effect type shit.
What you mean?
I feel like goddamn, if I'm sitting next to a nigga that I don't like, and I pull this trigger, and the bullet hit his head and hit the wrong shit, he's gonna die. I don't think God was like, it's your time to die, son. I just feel like the bullet went through his head and hit the wrong shit and he died, type shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
so I believe in cause and effect. I don't feel like God was like, goddamn, or the Most High was like, shit, I'm finna kill goddamn 15 of your closest friends and leave you alive because you chosen. I don't look at shit like that. I look at it like certain situations happen and my brothers lost their life. And I went through shit too, and I didn't get hit in the same spots they got hit, and goddamn, that's why I'm still here, type shit.
Nah.
This why I feel like this though, cause
nah.
this on my mama. When I first got shot, right, and me and my mama had a house together and shit. Me, her, and her last baby daddy, my little sister daddy, right.
I'm finna skip past this part because he get to talking. It ain't really that relevant. Hold on, let me see.
Conversation in the kitchen, and she was like, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, shit, that's how I think. I believe in cause and effect. I believe, nigga, if a bullet hit me a certain way, I would die.
Let me ask you something. Okay, that's cool. You know how many niggas around y'all that want to be rappers?
Nobody.
Nobody?
Let me think.
Nah, nigga, a couple.
I'm trying to think. Hey, no, it's a difference between hard and shit, but we just went overly like, shit, all right, we finna put a plan together, we finna drop a mixtape, when you do it. Put my opinion on me. Like, I don't look at it like that. And
so
everybody
you don't think that was like in your that was your path? You don't think like that was your path? That was just something you tried and it worked. That's what you're saying.
Niggas only say path when you do it. Niggas don't question what a nigga path was if a nigga die. Like if I would have died, nigga wouldn't be saying.
That's actually not true.
Lil Man could have been the biggest rapper ever, bro. Ooh,
people
wouldn't be saying that. That's what I'm saying. It's only the success. So because this path brought me to success, niggas think this what I was supposed to do. I don't know if this is what I was supposed to do, but I did it and it worked. So maybe it was what I was supposed to do. I don't know. But I just don't look at shit as deep as other people. Cause I feel like people only look as deep into shit because we have brains and our brains are very like, what's the word? Like complicated and complex.
Okay, we're gonna pause right here. Let me break down. And this is why people talk about Atlanta. This is why people talk about Atlanta niggas. Let's be clear, okay? Because I am, and we're gonna get into this whole conversation because this is a part that I'm gonna break something down that I said before, and that's how I know it's a culture within Atlanta. Or again, it could just be black culture overall, but I'm from Atlanta, and that's mostly all I know. Even though I've talked to and been around other people, it's a conversation that they have later on in this interview that is like, damn, that's how I know we're from the same place because we all had that same logic. Everybody I talk to have that same logic. But okay, going back to what this man is talking about. So Big Bang asked him, do he feel or like he's special chosen or whatever? Because I'm paraphrasing because he's just one of the few people who is still alive in his like social group, right? Because 21 basically come from the slums. Like he come from the east side of Atlanta. Then that don't necessarily make it the slums, but if you know certain parts where it's just rough. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in the streets. So a lot of his friends are no longer here. A lot of his associates are no longer here. So what he is saying though to Bank in response is he doesn't think he's chosen or special because by his logic, right? Because I'm trying to break it down because he don't the way he though he can't articulate himself. But by his logic, I'm trying to say it the way he said it without sounding so stupid because it's still stupid. That's why I'm finna disagree with him. But by his logic, if he got hit a certain way, he would have died. Meaning that there's nothing basically keeping him alive. Like he just, I don't know, maybe he think he lucky. I don't know what it is, right? I can't tell you what he really mean because based off his explanation, it's like in my mind, I get what he's saying, but it's hard to explain because it really doesn't make sense. But I get what he's saying. I hate stuff like that. So it's like, okay, yeah, what make me better than the next person? Basically, okay, there you go. Thank you, Lord. It's like he's saying what makes me better than the next person because I can die just like that other person can. Boom. That's what he's trying to say. Which again, he is not wrong, right? I said in the comments, I said he's not wrong, but he's also not right, right? Because and I say this in my book, the only thing that make a person chosen is if you believe you chosen. Right? So he don't believe he's chosen. So he's not wrong if he don't believe that he's chosen. But what he is saying and what he goes into depth to kind of to speak to is there is nothing basically driving him, number one, being alive versus his other friends. There's no reason behind that. And there's no, like the only reason people say he meant to be a rapper is because he's successful at it. Um, and that he's not an anomaly. I didn't play that part, but he's like, people be saying that he's like an anomaly, and he's like, no, I'm not. Okay. So to break down how I disagree and why as people, we kind of need to adopt what he's saying, but also need to understand in a deeper way. Okay. He is right. He's no different, no better than the next person. If somebody next to him dies, he can die too, right? His destiny can be cut short at any moment and cause and effect, right? Cause and effect. But what he fails to understand is there is a driving force behind why he is still alive, even though he might not know it, but our creator knows it. The universe knows it. It's a driving force. He just can't foresee it, right? He don't have the foresight. He don't have the inner awareness to get to that point. Cause I know if I'm surviving and everybody else around me is perishing, I already know I got a big thing that I got to do. I know what my purpose is. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, 21 don't know what his purpose is. That's why he don't understand. why he is surviving while everybody else around him is perishing. He don't really know why. He don't want to make it seem like he is more special than the other people, because then it's like, oh, I'm better than. No, nobody's saying you better than. It's just you got a different calling. You got a bigger calling on you. You got to, because we know who 21 is. We don't know who these other niggas who he started talking about, who he named that who's no longer with us. We don't know them, but we know him, and it's for a reason. And again, though, like I said, he's not wrong where we all need to recognize that everybody is special. But if God is keeping me alive and everybody's perishing around me, why is that? What sets me apart from these people? I don't think I'm better than them, but why? What makes my brand of special different from their brand of special? Because I always say we all got a different brand of special, right? And I'm gonna go into depth with that. So to break down to what he was saying as far as him making it, like him being someone who came from the trenches, could not, and he goes on to say in this interview, because I don't know if I'm gonna play that part, but he goes on to say in this interview the only reason he started rapping was because he could not do anything else. He could not work. He had rapping and going to the streets. First of all, going to the streets and then rapping, because he said deep down he would not have preferred to go to the streets, because we all know, no, most of these niggas don't want to go to the streets. Men in the streets, black men in the streets, were pretty much forced to be in the streets. I talk about this in my book. And with someone like 21, he really didn't have a choice, because he ain't got no green card. He's illegal. We know he's been illegal the whole time for since the last few years or so ago or so. And he didn't have no choice. So that's what he did. He ran to that, and then rapping fell into his lap, and he just how happened to make it. So rapping is really not even his passion. You get what I'm saying? It's not something that he really loves to do. He didn't always know or think that he was gonna make it until he just tried it, and he was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna do this, right? So he says, though, what I want to pinpoint where he's really wrong at is saying that he's not an anomaly. And that the only reason we say that is his path is because he's successful. Yeah. See, people don't even know, even though that might not be his purpose, rapping might not be his purpose, right? It still was a calling on his life, because he wouldn't have got this. You wouldn't get this big if it wasn't a part of your calling. He can argue over now. I know, and again, it is just a difference of opinion. Ain't no real right or wrong, but I gotta say how I disagree and saying, but he is wrong about saying he's not an anomaly, because we can just look at percentages. Anomalies is just numbers. It's you versus everyone else. If we compare, first of all, his money, the money, his net worth already makes him an anomaly. He don't know. I will say 21 don't know what an anomaly is. Your money already make you an anomaly, because how many other people making as much money as you are? A very low percentage. That's an anomaly, right? Then if we look at black men in 21 Savage position that he was in, even if it ain't nobody from the UK, it could be a black man who came to the United States as a young man from Haiti, from Africa, from wherever, right? Don't have legal citizenship, end up going to the streets. How many of those men get to where 21 Savages is? He is an anomaly. He does not think he's special. And one end, some people will think that's admirable, because it's like, oh, you just humble. Bump that. You need to know when you are blessed. You need to know when you are special. Come out from amongst them and be ye separate. Know the ways you are special. Know your brand of special. Everybody ain't got the same brand of special. Because, and I'm gonna use this again as an example. He kind of said this, but I don't know exactly what he said, so I ain't even gonna repeat it. But I'm gonna say it my way to make more sense. If somebody was doing what 21 Savage is doing from A to Z. Even if they did not have what he had stacked against him, he could have came from a two-parent household, could have been an American citizen, could have had been middle class or upper class, and still did everything 21 did and did not make it. Not making all of these plaques y'all see in the background, them billion streams, they did not do the billion streams like he did. He doesn't understand he is an anomaly. There are not people just being successful in music. Then we gotta consider it's rap. Then you gotta look at, like you said, the numbers. He got billion streams on multiple songs. He owns his masters. He got one of the best like music deals in the industry. He pocketing more money than most people who in a deal. So like, how do you not understand that you special? And what ways you special? And I talk about this in my book. You have to understand what ways you are special, right? And not to knock him again for that, but he gotta see God ain't just everybody has their own individual destinies. Yes, things are cause and effect, right? Because most of this was happening, we making it happen. But there are some things that's destined. Yes, God calls you home. He's talking about something. That's what got me. The first part was like, I don't think God just saying, "Oh yeah, you must die." Yeah, God calls us home. God know when we meant to go, right? You can't escape death. I don't care what these movies be saying. We can talk about Final Destination and all that. Ooh, escaping death. You're not escaping death. It's either you're gonna die or you're not, right? Period. It ain't no gray area. Your death date is signed the day you're born. You just don't know it. So for him to be like, God ain't called, yes, whatever. I don't know. He lost me there. And that's where that's where I think people are like, okay, what are you talking about? Because we could agree on some things, but when you start off wrong, I'm not listening to that, right? So that's what happens. But it's like, dude, yes, God actually is dictating. If we're gonna bring God into it, God is dictating when people are leaving the planet. Yeah. So that's something that's already predestined when you're going to die. So if you are not dead yet and you're still moving and there's still things that you want to do, things that you know you can do, that's the reason. But it's another reason that you know deeper in yourself that I can't speak to. That's the God within you you need to find to know why you're still here while everybody around you is perishing. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to the next one. We got a few more to go. This is probably gonna be a long video. I ain't gonna hold you. We gotta get into the whole no snitching thing. We got to get into. Let me start sharing real quick and reshare. We gotta get into this whole no snitching thing because I didn't talk about this in my book because it wasn't. I can't say it wasn't relevant, but I didn't know how to talk about not snitching in my book because my book is. It's not really talking about street code. And yes, street code is a part of the black community, but it's just yeah, nah. And really I didn't even talk about black violence that I didn't get too far into that anyways to even get into the whole street code thing. So but to talk about what he's somewhat about to say. This is a long clip. I'm gonna try to break that down a little bit because I want to get the most relevant parts. But he's gonna talk about not snitching, and I'm gonna kind of summarize it before we play it. So Bank get into the whole conversation about why the streets is dead. Okay, he asked 21 Savage why he think what happened to the streets, and 21 Savage said the streets is dead. So Bank is like, well, what happened? Like, what killed the streets? So they get into the conversation about, okay, ain't no money in the streets no more. I couldn't agree more. Ain't no money in the streets. It's dry. Okay, when they first see the streets was glorified and it was looked upon as something where you can get, a quick come up. I'm sorry, in like the 70s to 90s, right? 70s to 90s. But in the early 2000s it started to dwindle. And the war on drugs started happening. Okay. And this is in the 90s when the war on drugs started happening. But, things take a long time before you start to see changes and effects. So, niggas now, if they weren't all pow off, they in jail. They in prison. Ain't no money be made in the streets because, first of all, the D-rugs that people are using now, the most popular ones, they're too regulated because everybody is popping them PILs. And if they still doing hard, that's really hard to find. And that's on crackdown even harder no matter where you at, but especially in Atlanta, right? Because I'm speaking to Atlanta. So he said, again, in the streets ain't no money. And then all the code, like the moral code is gone, which it's never been a real moral code in the streets. And they talk about, Bank talk about that, but anyway. But then he go on to say, well, the stuff that they learned in Bank generation and when 21 was coming up, ain't nobody on that type of time no more. And I'm trying to see if I'm missing any other parts. Pretty much that's it. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to let them talk. And then hopefully this is the clip that I need to. There's so many. Man, y'all, this motherfucking interview's over 3 hours. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I find the right clips. Baby.
But a act like,
Oh, you know what? Here I go. I keep doing that. I don't even know if I share it with the sound. I don't know why. Okay. I'm about to say this shit should be automatically open and loaded.
snitching is just this oxymoron from the streets. But niggas been getting told this shit. The police stand on it. Everybody that work for goddamn law enforcement stand on it. They don't snitch on each other. And goddamn, your mama been telling you, don't come back and tell me what your little sister did. I'm gonna whoop your ass. So this shit drilled in the head. But that like this just some oxymoron street shit.
No, but you got some people that raise their kids to tell.
Yeah, of course.
Them the niggas who done got in the streets and got the money before the real. See, what happened was they let the whole niggas get the money first, bro. I'm just being 100, bro.
I've been saying that.
They did. They let them get the money first because them niggas was more focused enough to get the money, get in position, get in the office, get to hiring people and all that shit. So now you got street niggas that coming in that knowing like I don't really fit in with that, so I'm just gonna be humble and let music talk or let Ebony talk. I'm gonna let these people talk because I don't know but one way. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me not to peep whole shit. Like if I come in the office and the motherfucker saying some shit that just some whole shit.
So you feel like nobody who snitched was a street and was raised not to tell?
I feel like every nigga who have told, they been with tell. I don't feel like no nigga.
Okay, I agree with that, but hold on, it's a certain part.
She does audio. He works the camera. Got to that age where your ass could buck.
Yeah, but I'm saying so a lot of shit. You didn't take everything that your mama told you. Didn't believe that you was
have a goddamn a code that they follow by, right? Like if your ass tell on your officer when you walk back in, I don't feel like it's emotionally attached. Like I want to see this.
No, for sure.
But the internet making it seem like who the hell even invented snitching? Them niggas dumb. That shit stupid.
No, it's just you can't be a nigga that's upholding something and then don't stand on it. That's how I look at it. Now, if a motherfucker never said that they would never tell, I can't be mad at you for telling.
Right.
But if you one of them niggas who say this,
no, that's not what they saying. They saying snitching is the rule of snitching is stupid.
Who saying that?
The whole internet, bro. That's the narrative now. Like that's the general narrative.
Oh, like basically, like why do we
Street
care?
niggas are stupid. Why do niggas care about the streets? Why do people care that a nigga is snitching?
I'm kind of with them on that.
Why though? If we just
Because it's fucked up.
but we just agreed that police and all type of other people think the same thing about this same rule.
No, you're right. 100% you're right. And if there was 3-4 years ago, I probably would agree with that. But right now, looking at the streets for what it is, all this shit fake. Not just snitching, everything fake.
What you mean?
Everything fake. When niggas is breaking in their partner house, they bitches, they partner bitches, all that shit is bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Like we didn't do that. Like I don't even want your side, bro. I don't even want to bitch you done fuck.
Yeah, but
cause I know my nasty. I don't want to find your nasty ass, bro.
But bust his ass in.
Huh?
Tell on him.
No, I get it, but you got niggas.
If you signed up for the streets.
But this ain't the same streets that they signed up for.
It is.
They ain't signed up for the streets you signed up for.
Ain't no concrete change where I'm from.
All right.
That shit still look the same, bro.
Tell you, they ain't signed up for the same shit. These niggas is coming back to court in the whole thing like, bro, you know what you gotta do? Niggas in jail telling you to tell.
I don't know about that.
Bro, they is, bro.
I don't know.
Man, work your one.
I don't know about that.
Man, please.
I ain't never heard it, so I can't say yes or no. I ain't saying it don't exist. I'm just saying I never heard that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's this? What you just said though?
I said, when did y'all start gauging like that ain't really telling? Like
I ain't never said that ain't really telling. I either say it ain't telling or it is telling.
I'm trying to think.
Because people try and make shit so simple. Like, okay, the game of basketball is goddamn simplify the streets to just, if you shoot it in the net, you get a point. If you shoot it in the other net, they get a point. Downs. If you grab a nigga the wrong way, that's interference. You got hanging on the rim. If you yell at the ref, nigga, that's a tech.
Yeah.
So the streets is the same way. It ain't just black and white, just one thing, and every nigga know that. And every city got how they look at certain shit, bro. Like some niggas look at saying a dead nigga did some shit is telling. I don't look at that like telling. If I go on the move with my man and my man don't make it, boy, everything in his car, everything we just did, he did it.
You still told on the dead.
I don't give a f.
Me neither, but I'm just saying, I probably do the same shit.
I'm a rat.
But you still told on the dead.
But so can a nigga call you a rat for that?
They can call me they want to call me.
You can always say anything.
But you told on the dead.
I'm just a rat then at that point.
But you tell on a live nigga.
Yeah, that's snitching. If you tell on a alive, that's snitching.
But see, that's what I'm saying. It's too many. It's too much. It's too many.
It's basketball.
It's too many. It's too many. It's too many.
It's multiple. It's multiple. It's not just simplified to that. It is, bro.
No, it is. It is, bro. If you go in there and talk to them folk without a lawyer, you told.
No, you didn't.
All right.
No, you didn't.
I'm saying.
Okay, so
it's different.
I'm gonna let it play out because I need y'all to listen to this.
Me and you on the move. Me and you on the move.
Get into the whole conversation.
We robbing. A nigga telling goddamn man, bank and Savage robbed me. Woo, woo. Snatch me up. They bring me in the room. Yeah, we want to know did bank rob him? Nah, hell nah. Man, bank was in the bed asleep. I talked to bank.
I feel you.
I told on you.
You can't.
Did I tell on you, man? No.
You kind of did.
How?
Cause get what? What if I ain't said that?
What you mean?
What if I said I would got there at my mama house? You told that I was at another house.
Hey, bank. Well, I told them folks you was at home.
I already have told them damn, you'll f the whole case up.
No, you ain't.
Don't say shit.
No, that ain't snitching. That ain't snitching, man.
What is it then?
That ain't snitching. That's yo ass talking too much trying to help a
Thank
nigga. You was talking too much trying to help a nigga, but you wasn't trying to hurt a nigga, man.
I feel what you're
Snitching is trying to hurt a nigga. Snitching is trying to get another nigga. Listen, man. Snitching is trying to get another nigga fucked up so you can be unfucked up. That's what snitching is, bro.
I understand that. But let me ask you
and more.
You did all that lying for me. Right? And then them folks tell you, this how they get you. That's why they say you got the right to remain silent. They tell you, okay, well, you finna go to jail for perjury because Bank he already said this. You finna be like, let me tell you what happened then.
They can't take.
That's how they usually get.
They can't take you to jail for perjury. Perjury is if you lie on under oath.
He's right about that.
See, I don't know.
Yeah. Come on.
But you just said, but a scaring, they got a scaring now.
Hey, petition ain't to get a nigga locked
But
up.
do you agree? All right, let's move forward. Do you agree? Just ask for your lawyer. From this point on.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Just ask for your lawyer.
Just
really, we ain't got to even decide.
You might not even be saying nothing. You might just be in there letting them talk. I didn't see
Saying that.
Oh, nice. Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Why you moving the goal? But you still in there with them folks
You
without
ain't
your lawyer.
talking.
You just said if a nigga going there without
Don't
his
say
lawyer.
that.
Oh, nice. Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Why you moving the goalpost?
You did.
You did. You just said don't
Bro,
go
you
tell
tell
me
me
about your lawyer.
the
Listen,
part I wanna
man.
play.
You
All
just
right.
said some whole shit. Listen, if y'all motherfucker ain't telling me on the way to jail, I ain't trying to really go in no room and talk to
You
y'all,
ain't got
bro.
no choice. You got to go in this room and then say you don't want to talk. They bring you in the room. They ain't telling you where you going. Yeah, in the back of the police car. You gonna be,
I don't know,
nigga gonna
man.
be playing some weird ass
I
on the
always
radio.
been the suspect, though. They ain't never really asked me shit. What you mean?
What you mean?
Pull up, put your hand in the handcuff. You been on the rest.
Where your lawyer was at then?
Why you be in the car with me?
Okay. I don't think they're gonna play it. All right. Damn. And I'm not gonna go try to find that shit again. This whole video is the whole interview is 3 hours, y'all. I can't do no timestamps. I don't even be doing timestamps on my own video to edit. I hate it. I got plays for it all the way through. So okay. So they get into this whole conversation of snitching, right? And you see how you don't nobody even know what snitching is. Niggas don't even know what snitching is. So y'all talking about the streets is dead and the streets got a code. The streets ain't got no code. Let's talk about that. The streets don't have a code. And I'm finna talk about this. I'm not even, first of all, please y'all, I don't need no pity. I don't need no pity. I'm not here for no pity. I want y'all to understand a couple of things. First of all, let's break down something that they said. I wanted him to say it on this clip, but they didn't say it. So there's a breakdown that most of us, I'm gonna say most hood people know. I ain't gonna say most black people. I'm gonna just keep it hood. Well, you understand, like, when it comes to black people in underserved communities, low class, right? You're gonna get the hood babies, right? People from the hood, because I'm somebody who was from the hood, right? I'm from the hood. Then you get people who from the streets. Now, when you from the hood, that don't automatically mean you from the streets. But when you in the streets, you likely, more than likely, 99% of the time, from the hood. And then they break down, you also got the hustlers, right? So you got the hustlers, you got the hood niggas, and you got the street niggas. And I always say, and I say on one of my videos, like I would say I'm a hood baby, like I'm a hood bitch. Like I'm not no street. I was not in the streets. I was not in the streets. I was not selling no kitty, no D-rugs, and none of that. None of that. Okay. And then even me saying that I'm from the hood is kind of debatable because I grew up in a hood type of environment, but not a hood type of environment. Being in Atlanta is kind of weird. Like you gotta be from here to understand. Like you can come into the nicest neighborhoods and it can be rough sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or you can just be from a certain type of neighborhood, but inside your house is like a hood house. You get what I mean? So that being said, I'm not somebody who's from the streets, praise the Lord. But my brothers were. Okay. One brother was shot and he did not make it and passed away 10 years ago this year, going on 11 years next year. So I lost him to gun violence. One of my older brothers, and then I have a younger brother who is in prison basically for the rest of his life because he off someone, right? And so when it comes to the streets, I think like, and they in the end of the interview, they was like, "Well, the streets need to die. They do need to die. Black people, we need to let that go because it's causing more harm than good." And in the video, y'all gotta just go watch the interview because Tuna Savage did say some things that I totally agree with as far as like when it comes to the streets, letting it die. Because we really got to get out of that. There ain't no money in the streets. There's more cons than there are pros to going into the streets. But at least, and they make a good argument, at least back in the day, when the YNs would go to the streets, it would be money. Even though the risk was real high, the money made it worth it. Now it's no money in the streets, so it's not worth it. It's not worth going out there. That's why these kids go from, like, in our generation, when the YNs wanted to go into the streets, it was for the money. Now these kids just want to go to the streets to crash out. They trying to crash out. Like, they trying to prove how tough they is. And this is the problem, right? This is the problem because they glorified. These niggas, they glorified in the music. It's glorified in the music. It's glorified even in the media sometimes, like in entertainment. It's glorified. The hood stuff with black people, the street shit is glorified. And even though it's like on one end, it's not like purposely glorified. It's really us just telling our stories, but it just turns into something that's celebratory because the art be so real, be so raw, and it be so magnetizing. Like, it just be so well done. We enjoy it. Be so good. It be so entertaining. So that's how they live in their life in the music. That's how they live in their life on TV. We growing up watching Boys in the Hood, growing up watching Don't Be a Menace to Society. We seen it. It was not a cautionary tale to these YNs. It was not a cautionary tale, even though both movies ended in the main characters being offed. It was not a cautionary tale. It was, ooh, well, this is the environment I grow up in. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm finna go bang like them niggas. It's the blind leading the blind. So yeah, we need to let the streets die. But you see, the main thing is, like Bank said, the streets is fate. It's fate. Ain't no moral code in the streets, nigga. It's kill or be killed. It's dog eat dog. It's it. It's so much stuff that was in this interview where it's like they are making the point to solidify that we need to let this street code shit die because it don't matter. It really don't matter. It don't matter. Whether you snitch or not. Because either way it goes, somebody gonna lose. If you snitch, the person you snitched on, whether they did it or not, they gonna lose. If you don't snitch, you gonna lose. You telling me it's more admirable for you to be in prison for the rest of your life because you didn't tell on somebody who did something that you didn't do versus you telling on somebody and you get to go free. Y'all niggas did suck too much. And that's the main issue that I have with this street code shit. To me, you choosing another nigga over yourself. It ain't no other way. But if you gonna talk, because like I said, you supposed to go in there and be quiet. I don't know. Every time we be on First 48, why are y'all in there talking? Ask for your lawyer. Make these people prove that you did it. Make them do their work. Make them do their job. You don't say nothing. You sit there. Where's my lawyer? I don't care what you say. Where my lawyer at? You can throw everything at the book. Prove it. Where my lawyer at? Where my lawyer? Lawyer, 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 lawyer. Make a song, nigga. I don't care how they intimidate you, lawyer. Y'all, the thing is, y'all don't have no code. And I'm gonna say, y'all, I don't follow no code. Because you wanna know, I snitched on my baby daddy because he thought he was gonna put something on me. And I put it back on him. Because I'm not no ride or die. I say that all the time, though. Who? I'm not doing none of that. I'm not. She's too smart. I'm never gonna pick somebody over me. If it's me over you, it's always me. Me always. Don't care. Only person I wouldn't even take a fall for my daughter. And I know there's some people who would, and it's, my child did something bad. I would go to prison for them. I was saved. I'm not going to prison for you did the crime, you do time. I got things to do. And that's one thing, even though this is not a part of the conversation, but this is something that I said to myself yesterday because I was watching something that made me say this, and I ain't even finna get into details because then it's gonna be a whole nother topic. But when it comes to my purpose versus everyone else, including my child, yes, my child being a mother is a part. a part of my purpose, but it is not my sole purpose on this planet. Because I was still gonna do what I was gonna do, even if I didn't become a mama. Believe that. So my purpose is gonna be bigger than my child. Hell, my purpose is almost bigger than me. I can't even, you know what I mean? So ain't no way. I'm not going to nobody. I'm not going to jail for nobody but me. If I'm gonna go to jail, it's because I did it. I'm not going to jail for nobody else. So yes, I am a snitch. You call me all of that. Been that. But then again, I'm not from the streets. So they'll give me some leeway, I guess. But that's still stupid to me. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no way you think you hard, you think you really tough, cause you going to spend time in prison for your man's then. Your man's them. Like, y'all ride or die for y'all niggas that tough? That's gay to me. Again, homoerotic. And it's not gay in the sense of you want to have sex with him, but it's gay in the sense of you love your homeboys that much. If y'all would go do time for your niggas, will you do time for your bitch? I'm just asking. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't see it. So the streets need to die. They need to die because they killing black men. They not doing anything for y'all. There is no real honor. There is no code in the streets. Y'all can be like, hey, y'all don't need to be hurting women and children. Keep it, gang to gang. All that go out the window when you start getting mad. First of all, what y'all be mad about? Y'all don't need to jump to violence anyway. You know what I mean? It's always, oh, let me jump to violence. Let me show this nigga who I really am. He pie. He trying to play me. He don't need. He really need. He really need. Like y'all really will throw y'all whole lives away to prove it. What exactly to whom? It's like y'all. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I think it's one more clip. Oh yeah, and then they get into the whole conversation about Gunna telling on Thug or snitching and that whole conversation. I kind of already kind of touched on that a little bit in the past. But the thing is this, Gunna definitely snitched. we can call it what we can say what we want. He definitely said that YSL is a gang and that he saw them do illegal activities. He pretty much gave them a reason to have a case, even though they didn't really have a case. He kind of put like, oh, ting ting ting, let's go ahead and find a nail in the coffin. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but Thug, same thing over Thug, because Bank obviously think that Thug kind of dry snitch too, because Thug was in there talking. And this one part that they didn't show. This is why again, this whole niggas don't even know what snitching is because 21 said that, hey, what if no Bank asked 21, what if you tell the police and he used one of the people in the room, I'm gonna just say Ivy. I'm just using a random name. Ivy. He just said, what if you told the police Ivy did something and she got a good alibi? And you know she got a good alibi, but you just throw her name out there. Is that snitching? 21 said no. I'm like, how the fuck that's not snitching? Even if she didn't do it, don't throw you. And then later on he figured out, he was like, oh yeah, that is telling. Well, maybe you need to use imaginary people. Yeah. If you're going to put it on anyone, but really you need to not put it on anyone because you're supposed to be like lawyer, lawyer, lawyer. These niggas is dumb. I'm telling you, niggas be dumb. Even street niggas be dumb because everybody. Let me tell you something. All these niggas who was on first 48, half of them was street niggas. Y'all should have went to class and read a motherfucking book. Sue me, sue me. Should have read a book. Just because you from the streets don't mean you gotta be that kind of dumb. And then this niggas in the comments, ooh, 21 is so smart. He's smarter than the average rapper. I'm like, no, he's not. All right, did we listen to the same interview? Yes, I'm not gonna say he's a dumb, like he's a dummy, like a dumb dummy. He makes some sense, and there's some things that he said in the interview that I totally agree with. But I would never. Maybe I'm just too smart. I'm sorry, I'm above average IQ. My bad. To think somebody like 21 is smart, I can't. I wouldn't say that. Not compared to me anyway. And that's why I'm sorry. Some of y'all just don't be smart. So y'all think that people who are smarter than you are smart. Just because they're smarter than you don't make them smart overall. Because if you still in the average range, you're not smart. You're just average. But if you're in the above average range, that's when you call somebody smart. Now I ain't even talking about just IQ. I'm talking about IQ and EQ because emotional quotient matter. Eh. Anyway, so I got one last clip we're gonna talk about. Actually, I don't even know if I'm gonna talk about this one. Yeah, I am. I am. I'm gonna talk about this. And I'm showed up. I'm talking about this because this is important. It's important. Ooh, who's calling phone? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find a spot. Hold on. I'm going too far. Okay. Okay. I found it. Here we go.
Feel like now Metro is kind of more open minded. Feel like he like I don't know. I feel like Metro been through a lot, so you know, like I feel like sometimes the shit just don't be the right time. But I feel like in the future, the near future, we'll see them work together again.
Do you think the damage is done? Do you think like
No.
Drake took a hit?
Do I think he took a hit?
Yeah.
Nah. He's still the #1 stream nigga this year.
Yeah.
I feel like he took an internet hit. But then it'd be like, damn, did you take an internet hit? Because streaming, you got to go on the internet to stream. And I'm still the #1 nigga streaming.
Yeah.
I feel like to certain people, they might say he took a hit, but I don't look at that shit like that. I don't know. I told that nigga not to even do all that shit anyway. Told that nigga leave that shit alone. But goddamn, he felt like he was being challenged lyrically, so he wanted to respond. And people chose who they. You know what I told Drake? He called me one of them days, or I called him. I think this was after the first song, the song with Metro them. And I said, goddamn. I said, you finna go into a battle that you can't win. Like, there's no way you can win.
What you mean?
When you, no matter what, bro, certain situations, even if you win, you still don't win. Like, the what he would have got if people would have quote unquote say he won, because I don't really look at like who won or who lost if nigga I'm still being streamed the most. Like, so, but people say like, oh, Kendrick won. Kendrick a good ass rapper though. You get what I'm saying? And some of his songs was hard.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Drake, I like Drake songs too.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like the only difference is when you're at the top, when you the #1 nigga, where does winning put you?
Yeah.
You can't go like number 1.1. So how the fuck could you win anyway? That's what I told him. Like how can you
But
win?
it's ego involved though. Niggas ain't going.
It's definitely ego, and it's just some niggas just love Drake. Really love this shit. Like and Kendrick really love to rap. I don't really give a fuck about rapping like that. Like I do, but I don't at the same time. Not to that point where goddamn I want to just like a nigga dissing me ain't gonna inspire me to make no song. I'm gonna do something else to your ass. But goddamn.
Okay, we're gonna stop right there. This highlights what I be talking about when it come to black men. Y'all coddle each other. Y'all hold each other nuts too much, man. Y'all hold each other nuts too much for me. I don't like how I'm trying to use my words wisely because I do support black men supporting black men. I support black men friendships, but y'all go too far for each other. And it's disturbing to it's upsetting me and my homegirls. For real, for real. Like for real, for real, for real, for real. And this is why being from Atlanta and seeing how a lot of younger Atlanta niggas just how they think the mindset, it's like y'all really ride for y'all niggas. Y'all ride for y'all niggas so hard. But it's fuck a bitch. Like women, who cares? Now, one thing he said that I support is how he don't hang around niggas who too mixy, right? He don't hang around the niggas that put their hands on a woman, or that he don't hang around the niggas that ain't stepping up and being fathers. I fuck with that, right? Because a lot of men don't care. That's really honorable to me. Even if he might be lying, but the fact that he said it, I rock with it because a lot of niggas not gonna say it nor do it. Okay, but going back to the whole thing where you can't even admit that your homeboy he lost the battle. Drake lost the battle, but you too busy holding his nuts because they hurt. How he get kicked in the nuts and you hold them for him? Y'all can't ever be real with y'all homeboys. That's y'all problem. Y'all really want everybody to call it y'all. That's my issue with black men. Even though it's like, well, what do he need to hold Drake accountable for? You need to just be real with your friends. Like, homie, you lost that battle. Now, maybe he told him in mixed conference. I mean, well, not even mixed conference. My bad. Maybe he told him in private, "Oh, nigga, you lost." Maybe, but I don't even think he did that. He really probably listened to what Drake said. Drake probably explained that same thing to him because 21 Savage come off as a nigga that he probably think Drake's smarter than him. And I'm not saying that he probably be on Drake nutsack because he's smarter than him like some niggas is because he don't seem like he that type of nigga. But he probably listen to Drake and really listen to him and think what he's saying, it makes so much sense to him that it gotta be law. Drake probably the one who told him, man, I'm probably gonna lose this battle anyway because I'm already number one. What can top number one? You can't be 1.1. First of all, this is not even, it don't even make sense. But what? Like, first of all, even if you're a winner, you can keep winning. Like, what are we talking about here? Even if you're a winner, you can keep winning. If you won a championship, that don't mean you can't go win another one, and another one, and another one. Word to Kobe. Word to Michael Jackson. Yeah, him too. Michael Jordan. That don't mean you can't win another one. So what are we talking about here, right? If Drake would have won, it's no different than when Drake was battling what's his name, Meek Mills. He won that battle, didn't he? I mean, whatever, 10 years ago, I don't even remember. Nigga, this shit be so time is crazy. But he won that battle against Meek Mill. And Meek Mill, he ain't nowhere near on Kendrick Lamar level. Right. In this time period. Now back then I can't really gauge. I think at that time when Drake was battling Meek was kinda at top. He was one of them top niggas. But I don't even think Kendrick was up there with Meek at that time, right? I think that was that time again. I'm not gonna check. I don't feel like checking, but I feel like I'm right. But he won that battle, and and that did make him. He was already number one when he was against me. Drake been number one for a while, right? So even when he went against me, he was number one. He still maintained that spot. The difference is, see, y'all can be like, oh yeah, he lost and he's still the number one streaming. First of all, wasn't he accused of botting? So how do we even know that Drake is really the number one streamer when he buys his streams? It's been proven. Y'all go look it up. They've been saying for a few months ago that Drake buys his stream. So how are we going to celebrate him as the number one stream artist or whatever, stream rapper, whatever he got number one in when he buys his streams? We can't use that. That's not what we can use anymore. Can't use it. Can't use it. And he ain't. The thing is, it's quality over quantity. Drake has 18 million albums versus Kendrick's 12. You know what I'm saying? I'm exaggerating on both ends. But that's how big the gap is. If I got 20 albums, ain't no way I'm not gonna have no number one hits if I'm really still a good artist. But if you got five and you got damn near just as many hits as me, or just as, you know what I mean? What are we talking about here? Huh? If you made 10 paintings and only two of them sold, that means you only sold 20% of your paintings, right? If I made five paintings and two of them sold, do the math. I made double. Like that means I'm two times better than you. If we're gonna look at it that way. Y'all see where I'm going? Let's use the same analogy with paintings. Okay, let's say I sold, I got out of them, I got 10 paintings and we both got 10 paintings. I sold two paintings for $1,000. You sold two paintings for $3,500. You know what I mean? So I can keep going parallels for this, but it's calling him the most streamed nigga means nothing. Nothing means not, right? Let's see what this new album, because nobody is checking for Drake's new album. Everybody's been calling it garbage boo boo. Now, one thing 21 said that I do agree is that when people, and this is not just talking about Drake, this is just a general thing, that people who want you to lose, they're gonna want you to lose regardless. That is very true. Very true. But nobody had in their mind that Kendrick was actually gonna come out and demolish Drake like that. I think most people thought Drake was going to win this battle. Even though Drake lost a battle with Pusha T, even though Drake lost that battle with Pusha T, people forgot about it. They forgot that he lost because he handled the L with grace. But because he did not handle this L with grace with Kendrick, and because Kendrick really did demolish him in how he performed, right? How he performed, how he came back and beat him. He bit. Look, I don't know what it is. I'm coming to the end, but I don't know what it is in the last few years. Let me tell you, Kendrick subtly has been telling everybody he's been the best for a while. He's been subtle about it. But in the last year or two, especially with this Drake beef, it's like that little nigga said, I don't want to be humble no more. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to be humble no more. And I don't blame him because I don't want to be humble no more neither. It serves nobody. Being humble don't serve nothing but other people. And it was like as soon as whatever he was like, man, I'm finna show these niggas who I really am. Because I've been calling myself the best. Let me show these niggas I really am the best. And it's not like 21 saying like he just randomly took a shot at Drake. Drake been taking sub shots at Kendrick for the past decade. Niggas know. Real niggas know. Mm-hmm. Been doing it. And again, Kendrick was just like, I don't want to be home no more. I'm finna go after these niggas. He went and he put J. Cole J. Cole is in a cocoon. I don't know what, and somebody's been checking on him. Is he okay? Right? And now Drake is just spiraling like a Karen, creating lawsuits, suing his own music company for supporting or selling the more songs for They Not Like Us. It's, I don't know, like, but you pay for streams, you're paying for bots. I mean, and it's, like I said, when it comes to the Black community, and this is not like super relevant, okay? This is not me helping y'all navigate. not so to speak, but I am talking about certain things when it comes to we need to let the streets die because it does not serve anyone. And one thing, like I said, and I'm probably gonna end on this note, but this is one thing that I was thinking about earlier when I watched the interview. How men, well, not men, I'm sorry, how street niggas will be like, okay, no, we're not gonna hurt no women or children. But you still gonna take a woman's boyfriend or her husband, her baby daddy out of here. You still gonna take a little boy or a little girl daddy out of here. It's a trickle effect. So you ain't physically hurting the male. I mean, you ain't physically hurting the mama. You ain't physically hurting the babies. But you emotionally putting them in some turmoil. And that goes on both ends. That goes on the man who in front of the gun and who holding it, right? You can have all these morals, but when you taking lives, when you robbing people, when you like, it doesn't matter. People don't care. You causing trauma. You are leaving a trail of trauma everywhere you go when you become a street nigga. We need to let that go, and women need to stop wanting street niggas. I said this again in this book. The problem with wanting street niggas, and they talk about this too. I'm gonna get into that. But the problem with wanting street niggas is you think that he not gonna do street nigga shit to you. You can't be a woman or a person raised on love, and then you have to deal with somebody who's from the trenches who all they know is war and survival and don't trust nobody and be shiesty when you need to be shiesty so you can make it. Nobody, you can't do that. It don't work. Never really has. That's a fairy tale and it doesn't exist. So we gotta get out of that. This hood shit it gotta go. It's bad enough we already are predisposed to being in underserved communities and to be in a lower social economic class. It's already a disservice that we live in a country where the upward mobility is almost impossible. When you are born poor, you are so likely going to die poor. I think it's only a 4% chance for you not to be poor if you were born poor. Let the streets go. Let it go. Let it go. There's nothing glamorous about it. Ain't nothing cute about it. Go get your ass in them books. Go to goddamn school. Damn, it was something else I was about to say. Shit, I forgot. I'm tired, y'all. Sorry to my mind and not my heart. I'm gonna end on this note. Damn, wait, it was another part. That's gonna drive me insane. But it left, so that means it must not be too important. Huh. I think I touched on a lot of stuff though. That range true. That's relevant when it comes to this. We gotta let street go. There is no street code, ain't no honor. There's no honor amongst thieves, y'all. And that goes for that. That goes for the streets. You know, honor out there in a place where oh, that's what he was talking about. So he was saying how I think it was no, it was 21. 21 made the comparison to how men in the service, men in the military can become, traumatized, how they get PTSD so easily by losing people that they just met. So that, black men in the hood who from the streets, that they get PTSD probably just as worse, but because they have been taught to suppress everything, they don't even know if they really going through it like how they probably going through it. And that's the main thing that he said that I agree with. That's one thing. If you gonna call him smart, I guess you can call him smart there. But I feel like that don't make you smart. I feel like you should know that. I feel like you should know that. You're going to be traumatized if you from the hood in general. You're gonna be I don't give a fuck. Being black is traumatizing. And I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world, but I can't be a liar about my experience. It's traumatizing as fuck to be black because you know what the fuck you come from and you know the people that hate you just for existing. You know that there's people who will look at you, don't know your name, don't know what you sound like, don't know who you are, don't know your family, don't know nothing about you. But because you look like how you look, they hate you. This shit is traumatizing as fuck. Huh. So add, oh, you poor. That's another level of trauma. Add, oh, your daddy ain't at home. or he done got killed, or he in prison. That's another level of trauma. And oh, your mama is emotionally depleted. She can't be there for you emotionally. That's another level of trauma. Sometimes she worked 24 hours a day, seem like another level of trauma. Okay, then you go out here into the streets because you ain't got nothing at home for real. So you gotta go out here to the streets and you trying to get gain from these other kids who got the same level of trauma as you do. So it's the blind leading the blind. All that trauma coming together and making a trauma bond. But you going out here, you willing to pow pow and lay your life on the line for them. Yeah. The streets has never been good. It ain't never been cute. Not the streets, not the hood. And they made a distinction because the hood can be beautiful. The hood can be a beautiful like it's because again, I would say I'm gonna just call myself more hood adjacent than I would say I'm just hood. But regardless, going to the hood, I can remember like going to my sister's and bone homes or going to being on Deal Avenue with me and my friends, and you know what I'm saying? Like we was in the hood. We was in the hood. And when you be in the hood, yeah, you gonna be around street niggas, but that you not in the street. So you don't know what's going on. You don't know that Pee Wee is beefing with Black over here who live 2 blocks away because he shot at his mama house. Like you don't be knowing that until it get to you, till after. But they be knowing beforehand what's finna happen. That's what the streets is. The streets is they know what's finna go down. The hood is you find out after. So yeah, we find out after. They know while it's happening and before. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that was what I was gonna touch on. So, black men, if you're watching this, if you got this far, dang, cause y'all, if y'all really, I don't even know if anybody watching me this long, but if you did, you love me, you follow me. Go ahead and subscribe. Again, my book is coming out. Y'all gonna get a plug, shameless plug in every video until the book come out. Probably even after, because I love this book. I love that book. I love this book. Just a quick little steal. My ring light not letting me be great. Yeah, I'm sorry. I fucked around and did that. January pre-order. Make sure you subscribe so you'll know. Very soon. Oh yeah, actually, by the time you watch this video, you can actually go ahead and join the email list in the link below. Get a sample. You can read a sample of the book already, right? Before it's 2 months before it's released. So it can be weighing on your mind. You can be like, oh, I really like what I read. Oh, I think I want this whole book. And then you can think about it. So ain't no, oh, I need to think about it. No, you already know. By the time it come out in 2 months, you really want to read the rest of this book. So anyway, I've been on here long enough. Love you guys. I will see you on the next one.